This is Devil Survivor for the Nintendo DS, and there's a lot of things to like about this game. For starters, see if I pronounce this correctly, it's in the Shin Megami Tensei series. So it's very similar in many ways to Devil Summoner 2, which I recently reviewed for the PlayStation 2, and numerous other Shin Megami Tensei games from Atlus. This is basically a turn-based strategy game mixed with a role-playing game. When the game starts out, your characters are receiving emails predicting the future, people being attacked, a huge blackout, explosion. When these things actually come true, Tokyo goes into a full lockdown, and you cannot escape. Demons begin attacking, things get very chaotic, and your characters must survive. Hence the title of the game. Devil Summoner 2 was, for lack of a better term, pretty out there. It's a terrific game, though. If you haven't seen it, check out my review of Devil Summoner 2. You'll see a lot of similarities between these two games. Devil Survivor is told in a very straightforward way through text and dialogue on the screen. It takes place more or less in the present day, and the writing quality is extremely high. This game is immediately interesting, especially once the death clocks start counting down. There's lots of characters to meet, and you explore the city trying to make sense of this mess and find a way out. Your team ends up with these things called comps, which ironically look exactly like Nintendo DS Lites. Maybe they're the Nintendo DSi-X model. Not only do they have a camera, but they can summon demons. Don't just take pictures of your friends, attack them with monsters, then snap a picture to show them later, if they survive. Speaking of surviving, this is a challenging turn-based strategy game. Let's watch a battle unfold here, and what's very different with Devil Survivor compared to many other role-playing style games is that you're not continuously buying and upgrading weapons and armor and magic spells, but you are continuously buying and fusing demons. Demons are your weapons and your magic in this game. You rely on demons to fight for you. When you go into battle, you have your human in the center. You're flanked by two demons, one on either side of you. Each demon has different powers, and before you go into battle, you can edit your team and decide which demons to bring into combat with you. If one of your demons is killed off during the battle, you can put them away, and then from your reserve pile bring out another demon to fight alongside you. The whole thing can get very complex, and the more you use a demon, the more things they learn, they level up. Your own characters level up, and then if you have two demons, you can fuse them together to create another more powerful demon, which retains some of the traits from the previous demons. You'll have some characters or demons that are great for offensive attacks, you'll have others that are better for healing, and you can be very creative with how you mix and match these guys. Not to mention, they're all very strange looking. If you're familiar with any of the Front Mission games, turn-based strategy games, or even the Final Fantasy Tactics series, you'll pick the gameplay up very quickly. There's some differences, but it's also very similar. The basic mechanics are extremely similar. For the most part, you do not use the stylus in this game. It's primarily button and D-pad driven. The action and the playing field are on the bottom screen. The top screen will frequently show you the information. What and who it is you are fighting against, your team's statistics, things like that. It's very well laid out on the Nintendo DS. If you take out the character in the middle, whether it's a human or a demon, you'll wipe out all of them. Although frequently, they will start deflecting shots to the left or right. The more you play the game, the more you figure out who you actually want to attack. Do you want to take out the supporting demons, or just go right for the center one? Sometimes you have to be careful because you may use a fire attack on them and they'll deflect it to the guy on the left who happens to be strengthened by fire. Things like that make the game really cool. If you've ever watched this show before, you know I talk about the Front Mission series all the time. I'm still playing through Front Mission 5. It's only taking me a year and a half to play. Thanks to the show, it keeps taking me away from my precious Japanese robots. The one thing I noticed about this game is you can do a lot more per turn than you can in the Front Mission games, and also the Final Fantasy Tactics games. There's many other turn-based strategy series out there. These are the ones I'm most familiar with. So while healing your character seems a lot easier in Devil Survivor, for the most part, the combat itself is extremely challenging. You start running into enemies that really wipe out your characters left and right. And that's where the auction and demon fusing come in. The auction is like eBay for demons. While you do level up your demons as you play, you really need more powerful demons to survive in this game. Again, you can get a clue from the title. It's called Devil Survivor. And who are the maniacs who created these demons? It's like they rummaged through a garbage can to come up with ideas. I know. Let's make a head of lettuce with a bow tie, a demon. The demon fusing works in basically the same way as it did in Devil Summoner 2. You pick two different demons, you can see ahead of time what kind of demon they're going to create, and if your character level is high enough, you just fuse the two of them together and they create one new demon. You really need to master that demon fusing to excel at this game, to create demons that you actually need. Anyway, check out the death clocks on the top left and right of the screen, telling the characters how many days they have left to live. The characters just learned something a few scenes earlier when they defeated a huge demon. I didn't record that part. They learned that the death clock is not set in stone. Their actions can change it. Although that'd be a great way to mess with people. Tell them you can see the death clock over their head. What's it read? Don't worry about it. That's about it. I don't have too many critical comments about the game other than the fact that the music does get repetitive, but it does in most real-time strategy games because you're hearing it a lot. If you like real-time strategy and Japanese-style role-playing adventure games, this is really cool. And check out the character's name on the top right. I'll leave it at that. Devil Survivor for the Nintendo DS. Also check out Devil Summoner 2 if you think this looks cool. That's on the PlayStation 2. And I'll be covering another Shin Megami Tensei game coming out for the PSP soon. So keep watching, if you can survive. And hopefully Atlus will produce another Shin Megami Tensei game for the Vectrex. The demons are attacking. They're made up of green lines. Attack them with red ones. But it doesn't make red. Put on the overlay. Yes! They've exploded into a bunch of smaller red lines. Now take off the overlay. And they're green again.